Cheers, Rafe.
Love that guy.
For sitting down and talking to us, obviously.
He's a nice guy, like
He's a nice guy. It's just a shame about the name, isn't it?
Voldemort.
Ralph,
Is
Rafe,
it Ralph? Is it
Voldemort.
Rafe? Is it the man who must not be named? What?
But anyway,
But the man who doesn't know his own name.
he's certainly the loudest entity in A Bigger Splash.
Oh yeah, easily.
And one of the 4 stars of it, Tilda Swinton, Rafe Fiennes, Matthias Schoenaerts, and Dakota Johnson. Another Valentine's Day movie for Dakota Johnson. She's got 2 out at the minute as well. So I think maybe there's a trend.
And she also had one last year.
Certainly a lot better than last year from the beginning. So let's talk about A Bigger Splash.
Yeah, so A Bigger Splash is directed by Luca Guadagnino. He directed I Am Love a few years ago. You didn't get to watch this, did you, Joe?
No.
You're planning to watch it.
Planning
Yeah.
to watch it, but
I definitely want to watch it now. It also stars Tilda Swinton in that film. In this film, we've got Marianne Lane, played by Tilda Swinton, who, in Rafe Fiennes' own words, is the woman of the century. She's a world-famous rock star, and she is touring on a tropical island around the Italic region with her filmmaker boyfriend.
The Italic region.
the Italic.
Everything's just sideways.
Oh, the Italic region.
Italic Arial.
The Comic Sans region. The Italian. The Italic region. Right, okay. Yeah, with her filmmaker boyfriend Paul, played by Matthias Schoenaerts. It is an Italian island.
Yeah, you said
That's
you said Italic.
That
Italic.
makes sense, though, doesn't it?
No.
An Italic island.
Italian.
Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, a remote Italian island called Pantelleria. They are disrupted by an unexpected visit of an old friend, the manager of Marianne Lane, Harry, played by Rafe Fiennes, and his daughter Penelope, played by Dakota Johnson, who's having a much better year than she did last year with a certain romantic film which we can't talk about.
Well, that was wrong.
I mean, we can.
We can.
I mean, the filming for the second one started this week.
Oh yes.
I didn't put it in the film news because I simply don't care.
Yeah.
But
So are they all back in that one?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So in A Bigger Splash, I mean, it's mainly a tale of sort of. It sort of develops as the sort of characters sort of unwind. I mean, it is very much. I mean, the characters in itself, they are all very well defined archetypes, and they all have great character within themselves. I mean, Rafe Fiennes is such a massive presence on screen. He's loud, he's boisterous.
The biggest.
Yeah,
by far.
he makes the biggest splash in the film. And you know, and of Tilda Swinton, while she is on holiday, her character has a throat. Well, I think she had throat surgery. Yeah, it was throat surgeries where she can't speak. She can only communicate in low whispers or signs.
Yeah.
She can speak, but she sort of just.
She saves it
up. It's got to be small doses, and that makes it very interesting when she's interacting with Rafe Fiennes, who is a massive ball of energy in contrast to Matthias.
That was her idea as well. That was her idea. She said the director, to have Ralph Fiennes, who's very loud, to have her as the contrast.
And that does make a contrast with her current boyfriend, Matthias Schoenaerts, who is, in comparison, rather quiet. He can be loud, but he is much more quiet compared to Rafe Fiennes. And in that dance scene with the Rolling Stones song that we just played, it goes on forever, and it is really,
about as long
really...
as, probably about the whole 6 minutes.
Yeah,
of that song.
it's brilliant. It's such a good scene. Probably one of my favourites in the whole film. It's
Not
easily
Oscar
the
Isaac
winner.
level, though.
No, it's the winner of this year's Oscar Isaac Dance Scene Award so far. We've got 2 months into the year. I think it's close.
We can make this one out of silver then.
That
one was gold. This one's silver.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Son of Saul's gonna have a dance scene?
Watch me tear up the dance.
Close
A
of face.
Son of Saul dance scene.
That's how it ends.
First I was afraid. I was petrified. Oh God, no!
Dear.
If it does have a dance scene, dear God. But so God, yeah.
Dying to see Son of Saul.
Still dying. I was waiting for Liam to put it in there.
It's seeping into everything.
Yeah,
now,
so all of the characters are really well played. Tilda Swinton's fantastic as Marianne Lane. She can't really speak, so that allows her to use a full facial range of expressions, and that allows her to sort of express the emotions of the story through those instead of through dialogue. Matthias Schoenaerts plays a really understated character, and I liked his interactions with all of the other characters. Dakota Johnson was probably my favourite character after Rafe Fiennes, just because of how sort of seductive and sort of mysterious she is.
She's far more seductive and sultry in this than 50 Shades.
I mean, the sort of play on maybe a sort of incest angle between Rafe Fiennes and her, because it's like a really close relationship, like uncomfortably close, and you're not sure what's going on there, and you don't really know if she is in fact his daughter, but it's a really well played mystery there, and they all interact with each other perfectly, and that allows you to interact with the story just as well as you would expect to, really. But most importantly, the character that is probably the biggest in the entire film is the island itself, because you get to see some absolutely terrific scenery throughout. I mean, there's beautiful mountain edges, beautiful pools of water, beautiful hotels, beautiful landscapes, a brilliant dining restaurant
a lot
on
happens
top
at
of a
that
mountain.
damn table.
It's brilliantly shot. It's really well directed. I just love looking at it. It's going to be plenty of screensavers. There's going to produce plenty of screensavers when it comes out on DVD. And
yeah, there was quite a lot of nudity, wasn't there?
Yeah,
a lot of nudity.
but yeah, it's just the whole God's sake. The whole thing just shimmers with intrigue and suspense, and you never know what's going on. I do think after a certain flashpoint later on, I can't say about it, it does sort of lose steam a little bit, but I don't think that derailed the film enough to make me enjoy it less, because arguably that scene in which a certain flashpoint happens is my favourite scene in the film, and I feel like it all builds to that point and you expect it's going to wrap itself up in the next minute, but it's in a sort of 10-15 minutes after that where it continues, like, brings in a new character and then develops from there. But I don't feel like it lost too much steam in that fact, because it still was entertaining to me, even though it didn't quite live up to what it had if it had ended maybe a minute after that flashpoint. But in the end, I think it was a really entertaining film. It always had us guessing. I really enjoyed looking at all the characters and watching them all interact. The scenery is beautiful. I love the soundtrack as well, and just in general, it was just a really enjoyable experience, to be honest, in the cinema.
Yeah, I'm
glad we saw it in the cinema.
I liked how melodramatic it was, and I think Ray Fiennes was a big part in that.
Very melodramatic.
Ramping up the intensity. There's really unexpected stories going on through there, quite a lot packed into the 2 hours, and I completely agree that it kind of loses steam after a certain point. And it maybe could have just gone, a finer cut might have been better. But Joe?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I said it as soon as we left the cinema, that scene, what happens afterwards, it's just kind of, I don't know.
That's the peak. It can't get any further.
It can't get any further, and it just kind of goes on to an ending that I'm not sure is fully satisfactory, even though it is kind of a funny one what happens, but obviously I can't say it.
Yeah.
I love the film throughout, mainly just for Ray Fiennes. Basically, just the tension he creates, because as soon as you get off the plane, you can see it between him and obviously Tilda Swinton's character's new boyfriend, and you're just waiting for him to just kind of explode, because all the characters basically say the guy's limitless and he's not afraid to speak his mind, and you just know what's going to happen, and it does. It did have a certain visual splendour, especially in a lot of the camera movements.
A lot of interesting edits as well.
Very, very strange. But strangely, in the film, visually, what I loved the most was the glasses, the sunglasses.
Yeah, very early on there's a scene where the camera's kind of got like the sort of blue tint, and then the glasses lift up. I like that as well.
I just loved all the reflections and everything. That's what I found most fascinating, especially during the table scenes, whenever everybody's like, you can feel it in the air, the tension between, like, especially Tilda Swinton's character and Dakota Johnson's, because I think instinctively they just, for some reason, just dislike each other.
Oh, yeah.
But overall, I did enjoy Bigger Splash. I enjoyed the tension it created. But yeah, after that point, I did just kind of want it to end, I'm not gonna lie. And the ending was slightly unsatisfactory.
I agrei. But on a whole, I really liked it. Yeah.
I wonder what they were going for at the end, and whether they're trying to go for that sort of like ironic ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we can't spoil it, but yeah.
No.
But I feel like it would have been more satisfying if it wrapped itself up after that flashpoint.
I mean, I think the ending did, in its own way, have a kind of catharsis, but it was still just kind of.